Hello all, Old Geek here, and I hope your Christmas has been merry and your New Year happy. Over the last few weeks, I became aware of a thing for 2023 spreading through the sewer that is social media. But this is something most unlike most social media, something positive and creative. It's called Dungeon 23. Create a mega dungeon, one level per month, one room per day. Why not give it a go, I thought. Then my sensible voice chimed in. Because, geek, you start so many things you never finish. Ha ha ha! But when has that ever stopped me before? After a bit of back and forth on Discord, I decided to step out of my comfort zone as well. I'm normally fastidious about verisimilitude. Stuff I create has to make sense for my brain to be okay with it. So no, I need to challenge myself. Thus I went with a silly idea. And as this will all end close to next Christmas, and the dungeon should have 12 levels, I'm taking as my inspiration for my dungeon the classic 12 Days of Christmas. And thus, to fit the theme, I need to include some somewhat illogical funhouse elements. Thus, Chapter 1, or Level 1, will be a partridge in a pear tree. The dungeon will have 12 levels, but I'm also going to have a little town on top. And that town will be called Yule. Thanks to Elfbait for that suggestion. And Yule is a friendly, peaceful and jolly place. A retirement village for old adventurers. There is a community of gnomes who spend their days whittling away and painting wooden toys for children. And each year these toys are shipped out to surrounding villages as presents to mark a winter festival. The remaining, mostly human population spend their time farming, cooking and making beer, and generally living in peace. There will be other races, but the main population are humans and gnomes. However, the sacred pear tree in the centre of the town is dying. It bears but a single fruit, a radiant golden pear, the light of which provides warmth and security. And its magic comes from the fact that each morning it is fed with enchanted water that is drawn from the town well. And over the last week or so, this well has gradually been running dry. This is where the adventurers come in. Some adventurers are needed to bravely descend the well shaft and find out what is happening. So here's the beginning of the town map. I've roughly sketched the pear tree, the well, and a cluster of gnomish dwellings. I'll be using classic AD&D for this adventure, and thus some high-level NPCs are needed to serve as teachers or trainers for the party. And here is the motley crew of retired adventurers that I've created thus far, all of whom are too old and decrepit to be useful adventurers nowadays. Now the inspiration for this lot, for the names and the personalities comes, of course, from the regulars on my live streams. So let's start. There will be Yogg, a human monk, alignment lawful good. Yogg is a kindly middle-aged soul who thrives on routine. He's placid and friendly, though his emotions tend to flare up when his usually peaceful existence is threatened. He isn't training in his monkly ways at the moment, for various reasons, and he's got himself a little bit of a belly that he wants to shift. Then we've got Omenal, a level 9 human ranger. Alignment neutral good. Now Omenal chose to become a ranger because the profession gave him lots of hit points and significant advantages when fighting certain humanoids. Though he has mellowed in this power gaming stance with age, he does still follow an intensive fitness regime. He's always open with his advice and opinions, often almost too open. He's known for having a little bit of verbal diarrhea occasionally. And he has a friendly rivalry with Elfbait. The pair are often found endlessly bickering in the town tavern. So next up we have Elfbait, who is a human cleric. Level 9 also, we're all level 9. And his alignment is chaotic good. Elfbait became a cleric as it suited his kindly demeanour, though he would have much rather been an artist. If you want to see why I've put that in, check out the Discord, because Elfbait has been posting up some cool pictures of his artwork that he's drawn over the years for us all to have a look at. Now, like Omanal, he does enjoy talking about his past experiences, and he dispenses regular pearls of wisdom to those less experienced than himself. The two of them spend hours in the tavern. Gingerbeard is next. He is a human fighter. Level 9, also alignment chaotic good. Now, Gingerbeard is full of stature and full of beard, as his name suggests. He's a jolly and laid-back fellow, and his experiences have given him a dark sense of humour. If you want to find out where that comes from, play in our Call of Cthulhu. Gingerbeard has got a good sense of humour. But even his sense of humour is being tested at the moment, as he is trying to spend less time at the tavern. Bit of a health kick. That now brings us to DK. Human Druid. Level 9. Alignment neutral. Druids have to be neutral. DK can normally be found residing in the Emerald Grove, studying the meaning of the universe, philosophy, how it all ties together, looking for the answers that bind us all. He is even taller than Gingerbeard, and he cuts an imposing figure. And this factor is only highlighted by the fact that he tends to associate with the town's gnomish population. I'm going to put his home in that gnome grove that I have drawn. Saxius is next. Human thief, level 9, alignment lawful evil. Saxius is a tough man. He's organised, he is fastidious, he tolerates no nonsense. Every T must be crossed, every I must be dotted. He has made sure he's involved in town decision making and organisation, especially with regards to law and order. And he is known for applying the laws strictly. This is something he rather enjoys, almost too much. The last of the ones I've created so far is Merle. He's a human mage, level 9, alignment lawful good. He's one of the few people known to have managed to break free from the entrapment of a demi-lich's soul gem. Merle does not like to talk about the experiences therein. It's clear that it has damaged his soul. But he does keep a curious ancient skull on his mantelpiece, and there was a shard of a priceless jewel tucked in his hat. He does enjoy recounting other stories he has heard over the years of brave adventurers, and he can often be found by the fire at the tavern, engaging any who will listen to his tales. Merle has a curious quirk to his personality. He finds it highly amusing whenever anyone mentions asparagus. Right, the dungeon so far. Now, I've not drawn much, but I've got a list of things to place as the map takes shape. I've got all these listed in a spreadsheet. Saxius will be happy about that. I'm using the AD&D dungeon generator from the Dungeon Master's Guide to get the ratio of monsters, treasures and magic. And thus most of the monsters I use will be selected randomly, along with their treasures and magic items. But placement will not be random. I can't break that personal need for some degree of inner logic, no matter how hard I try. We're just 3 days in. The basics are done. There's a long way to go. I do want to make all of this a bit of a group effort, so if you have any ideas, then please come along to my Discord and post them. Maybe you'd like to doodle something for this project, or maybe give an idea regarding a trick, a trap, an NPC, a specific magic item, or a new monster. All of this is welcome, and I will give you a mention. Several people have chimed in already, but for now, I'm off to do some more drawing. I've been the Old Geek. See ya!